Here's the thing. The Bible isn't all bad. Does anybody have a problem with the 10 Commandments? The 7 deadly sins is one of my favorites. You know, even though I all the time. There's a lot of good in there. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Then there's a lot of bad, but it's not all bad. And these people that are against are trying to live by the way of the Bible. And the Bible says no premarital sex. And then all us over here like, well, hey, man, who's the church to say what I can do with my body, man? I'm going to have sex. Well, all right. Well, there you go. Then you run the risk, right? I love whenever they talk about abortion, then they always have to bring up, like, rapes. You know, they'll say shit like, I saw literally somebody goes, so you're okay if a 6-year-old gets raped by her father and she can't have an abortion? It's like, well, first of all, a 6-year-old can't get pregnant. All right? It kind of helps if you actually do a little bit of research, right? Before you say something like that. But, like, they always make it seem like they're rape cases. Like most abortions are because of unprotected sex during, what kind of rapist use a condom, right? I mean, most abortions, am I crazy here? And God forbid, just ask a question here. Most abortions, aren't they because of people banging consensually and not using protection, or the condom breaks? That's my favorite thing, the condom breaks. Yeah, and nobody notices. You notice when the condom breaks, right? It's like you're watching a football game at home, and then all of a sudden you're on the field and you get tackled. All of a sudden there's a feeling, right? I see both sides of it, and I don't understand why everybody has to yell at each other. Okay? There's too many people. And, you know, as far as, like, when a life begins and when it doesn't, I have no idea. I don't know what that means. All I know is that, like, when people say it isn't a life, it's like, well, if you'd leave it alone, it would be. It would become one. So I am pro people being able to do whatever they want to do. That's what I am. But I am not to the point where I don't think that it's the taking of a life or the ending of a life. It's the ending of a life. It is. Because if you didn't do it, there'd be a baby. So something got ended. Something ended that baby's life, and I think it was you with your Hoover vacuum there, right? Something happened. And I think that people that are pro that want to say that it isn't because they don't want to feel that they're involved in something like that. Right? And then conversely, oh, Jesus, I don't even know where I am in this argument now. Then you got other people there saying that, you know, I don't know. I agree that it is the taking of a life. I think it's the ending of a, depending on when you get it. It's definitely the ending of a life. You ended a life. A life was going to happen, and you ended it. You aborted it. And I don't think that people that are pro-choice like to hear that. They like to, well, it's not a life. Oh, really? Really? You with your non-medical degree? You who only reads medical research that agrees with your opinion, that's all that anybody does. So, I don't know. I have no idea what the thing is. The number one problem, though, is there's too many people. And for some reason, that never seems to come up in the abortion argument. You know, I don't get it. I don't know what, but I really wish all the screaming and yelling would stop. You know, the amount of idiots, like, I think I just focus on the left because I'm on the left. I just can't, the amount of, as I'm name calling here, I'm name calling them because they're on my team. All right? If you want somebody in Alabama to hear your opinion, okay, you don't call them rednecks and inbred. You got to treat them with a certain level of respect. And I just, for the life of me, I just don't understand, you know, that and then screaming your point at somebody. God knows I tried that for a couple of decades. That doesn't work either. So I don't know. And I also think that there's a lot of people on the left wagging their fingers about how Republicans don't want to help out poor people and all that type of shit. And all I have to say to lefties, it's like, what are you doing to help out poor people?
Nothing. The word is nothing.
Other than voting Democrat. Do you get involved? You know, that's something like, I mean, I guess I do benefits, but I'm not involved. I have all these ideas. I have all these things that talking to Duff the other day, it was making me think about that. I'm not involved. And there's a lot of people who aren't involved, and they're acting like they're involved because they're tweeting. And it's like you're not doing anything. And I think what I've learned since around the year 2000, the direction that we're going in is basically what I think what my last guest, Duff, was saying, was basically that regular people have to go out and get involved and help regular people, and you have to kind of circumnavigate the whole political corporate money-making thing, which hasn't been all bad, you know? I like a flat screen TV. I like having 7,000 channels. You know, it hasn't all been bad. There's just got to be a better way to do it. So, what does that have to do with abortion? I don't know. I just saw a bunch of people yelling about it and tweeting about it. Look at all of this shit. All of the people. Let's not talk about that. Why? Why don't we abort talking about the abortion shit? Here's a question I have. You know, for all those people who say that it's not the taking of a life, if I murder a pregnant woman, do I get charged with a double murder, or do I get charged with a murder and an unlawful abortion? You know, how does that work? At what point in the pregnancy is it a person legally? I tried looking that up. I couldn't find it. I'm not good with the internet there. Here's another one that I don't get, right? They always say, like, you know, if a guy gave birth, it'd be his God-given right to have an abortion. Ah, bullshit. That's another crock of shit. I can tell you this. If a guy gave birth, the way women would worm their way into that, they would everything that they say, this goes on in a woman's body, they would flip that whole thing emotionally. Do you have any idea what it's like to be that disconnected during the pregnancy? You get to feel it. You get to move around. It bonds with you, and I feel like nobody likes me. All I have to do is run errands as you lie there asking for weird food. They would turn the whole thing on its ear. I guarantee you they would. That's one of the things that has bugged me about women going, like, men shouldn't be making laws about my body. And it's like, well, you know something? You shouldn't be making all the decisions about men and women shit either, by the way. This is something I don't get. Oh, here we go. This is what I wanted to get to, right? This is what I wanted to get to. I don't get this. If a man and a woman have dirty, unprotected sex and they get knocked up, right? They get pregnant. And the woman doesn't want to keep it, but the guy does. Huh? What happens? They're going to get rid of it. It's her body, right? It's her body. Go yourself. And the guy, I don't want to do this. I don't believe in it. Go yourself. You're done, right? Now, conversely, if you flip that, right? And the man and the woman have dirty, unprotected sex and they get pregnant, right? And she wants to keep it, but he doesn't. It's like, I don't want that thing, right? She's having the baby. Okay, then when she has the baby, then it's their baby. How is it our baby when we don't get to make the decision about whether it lives or not? How come if a man says, I don't want that baby, and she has the baby, why does he owe money? Why can't he say to the judge, I didn't want that thing. She asked me if I wanted it. I said no. Don't want it. Get it out of here. Right? Why does he have to pay? Yeah, I've just got to say, ladies, for all the bitch moaning and complaining, you really are sort of the Roman emperor in the whole thing. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Does it live? Does it not? Your decision. All right? I don't know. I've kind of had it with this whole, I understand women in third world, second world, third world countries, but women in first world countries, the level of complaining that they're doing versus the lifestyle and the level of power that they have, it's not lining up. Now, granted, I have a lot of issues with women, which you'd never guess from my stand-up history and some of the shit I say here. But, I mean, it's just like, I can't tell you this. The most happy married men that I know do not argue with their wives. Whatever their wife tells them to do, they just do it. They just yes, dear, and no, dear. And when you say that to these broads who are all talking about equality, they all, that's what they want. They want a yes man. And I have found in my marriage, as cool as my wife is, she's the shit. As cool as it gets. My life is easier. If I just, okay, sounds good. Sounds good. You know? They ask you your opinion on things, but they don't. They just want you to reinforce what it is that they want to do, okay? They know how to run the house the same way you know how to drive the car. They don't know how to drive the car, okay? They're all over the fun. Anyway. I told her to get rid of it. Your Honor, she said, do you want this baby? I said, no. I have it recorded here. It doesn't make a difference. It's your baby. Well, what if I wanted it and she didn't want it? Well, it's her body. Do I ever win? No, you do not. Next case.
I have a really weird take on abortion. I'm going to tell you that right from the get-go, okay? I'm 100% pro-choice. Always have been. Ladies, I said it was weird. For the love of God, stop getting in the trunk of the car. Wait to the end. Pro-choice always makes sense to me because I don't like people telling me what to do. And I always just like, it's your body. Who the f*** to tell you what to do with your body? So that always makes sense, all right? However, I still think you're killing a baby. See? Whatever anybody's saying, like, don't tell me what to do. It's my body, my choice. That's right, man. She's right. Leave it the hell alone. Oh, you're killing a baby. Well, I mean, there is that. You know? I mean, if we're going to be honest, that is the whole purpose of the procedure. You know, you're not going in there because you got an earache. You're going in there because you're like, I got a baby in me, get it up here. Right? You walk in with a baby, you come out without one. What happened to the baby, right? It's not a baby yet. That would be like if I was making a cake and I poured some batter in a pan and I put it in the oven, and then 5 minutes later you came by and you grabbed the pan, you threw it across the floor, and I was throwing my birthday cake. And then you were like, well, that wasn't a cake yet.